Hello. Hey everybody. Welcome to our Tuesday lunch chat. I am your host, Sarah, and I'm the owner of Not Another Hat, coming to you live from inside the shop. And it feels like I haven't done this in forever because I missed last week. So welcome. And I hope that you have been well in our 2 weeks since we've last seen each other. So I finished some stuff. I have things to show you. I did a lot of knitting. I was out sick last week, and so I actually got a ton of knitting done. I have two FOs and progress to show you on a third project. So thank you. Yes, I'm wearing one of them. Woohoo! Ovaline is finished. Ovaline? Yes. Julia's project is tourmaline. This project is ovaline, both from Berroco Spring Summer new collection, and I get them mixed up constantly. I don't, however, want to call it Ovaltine like some people do. So I guess that's a silver lining, but yes, Ovaline. She's done, and I love this top. I love it, love it, love it, love it. I love the big dolman sleeves. I do have a tank top on underneath because, as you can see, it would be like, oh, look right on through. But yeah, it's such a great overall fit and design and such a great summer sweater. I'm super, super pleased with it. So just as a refresher, I'm like far away from my phone, so I can't see the comments unless I get really awkwardly close. But I made this in the new yarn Berroco Isola. Here she is. And this is a really slow gradient, as you can see here. This upper portion right here was worked from side to side. So I started at this cuff and I went all the way across, and I did, you can see I changed balls right here. I tried to find something that was pretty close. Obviously it wasn't super close. I don't care. It's a modular piece, like it goes in different directions. So I'm okay with this color changing, but I really was in one full skein up until here. And so this part was worked back and forth in garter. And then you pick up around that piece and go down. So really, really could not be more basic to make. The only caveat that I would have as a word of warning is to check your garter stitch gauge, because that determines the length from here to here. And I found that I needed to go down a needle size from what was recommended after I got started. So one of these I started and I got a couple inches in before I realized, like, oh, I don't think this is gonna work. I just changed mid-project. I didn't actually rip it back and start over because I was in the sleeve cuff, or sleeve, I was out of the cuff, but you get the idea. So if you do want to make ovaline for yourself, just, that's a little word of caution, is check your gauge in garter stitch and make sure that it is on. You might need to go down a needle size to make sure that this from here to here isn't like too long. But yeah, Isola is a lovely, lovely spring summer yarn to work with. It is a cotton linen blend. So really perfect. It's actually really warm in the shop right now. We're in that awkward in-between stage when you don't need the heat anymore, but also it's not warm enough for the air conditioning necessarily, but we get the morning sun on these windows all morning long, and it's like 75 in here. And I'm just too lazy to turn on the AC already. I mean, it is still March, right, in Oregon, but woo, I'm really grateful that today's finished sweater to show you is linen and not wool, right? So lots of beautiful colors. I'm not sure how well you can see those. Maybe if I tip this down. That's Isola. There she is. All of this right here. So that's the yellow that I use. There's blue, there's purple, there's red, there's navy, there's sage, there's turquoise, there's like sea glass green. So beautiful, beautiful spring summer yarn. Highly recommend it. I actually came out a skein less than what was called for. I believe I made the 48. 48? It's in my Ravelry, the size I made. At any rate, I'm short-waisted, so this is much shorter than it called for. I think it called for like another 3 inches or so, and I for sure would have needed that last skein if I had made it.
Could you say that again?
Oh, I hate it when that happens. I gotta figure out how to turn her off. Sorry. Siri thought that when I said sorry, I was talking to her. Anyways, I make everything shorter. That is me, Miss Short-Waisted. And so I ended up with a whole ball left over. But it really, I think it was 5 skeins, 5 or 6. So Quick, easy, summertime win. Ooh, ooh. Thank you, Julia. She checked my Revelry. I made the 48. So I would say my bust right now is about a 42. So that's 6 inches of ease, which you can see, right? Perfect. It was exactly the fit that I was hoping for. Exactamundo. So yes, this is one of the things I finished in my break. And then I finished something else. Excuse me. I finished my Inclinations Shawl. And now I'm really gonna sweat because I'm gonna put it on to show it to you. Let's get that wrapped around here. I am super happy with it now that it's done. I was not so happy while I was finishing it. As I got close to the end, I didn't like this transition that I made right here, where it gets really abruptly dark. So just as a refresher, I used Berroco Tiramisu. You see me thinking really hard there? And I just changed, I was alternating 2 different colors against each other, and then I would just change one out as I ran out. And so every half of a skein, basically it was getting changed. I don't know if that makes sense. They were alternating kind of. And it just so happened that when I transitioned into this last color, it just abruptly got a lot darker than I anticipated. All my other transitions had been pretty smooth up until then. And so then I was kind of like, dragging my feet. I didn't want to finish it. But I thought I had a lot further to go than I did. So I stopped, checked the pattern again about how long you go, and I realized I was actually at the stitch count that Andrea Mowry finished hers, and I think which was like 159 stitches. And my gauge was slightly different, so it wasn't as deep as it should have been at that stitch count. So I just kept going for a little bit further, and I actually transitioned one more time here to this last set of colors, and then I called it. Because the bloom was off the rose on this one, y'all. You know what I'm talking about, right? When the enthusiasm that you initially had for a project is like, so finished it, blocked it, but now I love it. And in fact, I wrapped it around the neck of my college kid before she left for spring break, and she's a redhead, and this looked so good on her with these purples and warm colors, and so maybe this will wind up being hers. I really love it. It's so cozy. It's really warm. I'm dying. But the fiber blend of tiramisu is just so delicious, and it just is perfect in this. This is like a half brioche or a fisherman rib kind of stitch pattern, so ultra squish, right? And so anyway, it is. I should have got a picture of Campbell in it. I didn't even think about it. My brain hasn't been so with it lately. But maybe if I gift it to her, then I can take a picture of her in it, right? Anyway, I cannot recommend it enough. I love it. I love it in tiramisu. I ended up using 5.5 skeins. So I thought I was going to use 7. I used 5.5. So not too bad at all for this big, beautiful shawl. Here, let me take it off so I can hold it up. You can get all the colors. There she is in all her progression. So this is the beginning here. And then I transitioned. And then we got to that dark part. Whatever. It's done, right? Okay, so I want to show you something that Jill just finished before I call it a day. But first, I'm going to show you what else I've been working on, because I put so much time into this, and I feel like I'm going nowhere fast. But that's because it's up to 325 stitches in fingering weight yarn, and it takes a long time to do a row. Okay. So here is my Woolstock Light 14 color shawl. And, I'm getting close. I'm getting close. I'm actually not nearly close. That's me being optimistic. I have another full color repeat of 2 colors here. And then this massive border that is done back and forth. The border is like 6 inches wide, at least. There's a bit more knitting to go, but I worked on this Sunday, some recent day. No, this is, yeah, maybe Sunday. I don't know. I worked on it for over 3 hours. It's almost 4 hours, and I got like 2.5 inches. and it felt a little bit defeating to get that little progress. But I'm glad I did it because that's 2.5 inches I didn't have before I picked it up. So I didn't want to let that one just go and die in the whips basket, you know? No, nobody else does that. Nobody lets projects die in the whip basket. Okay, I'm not going to show you this. I'm going to save that for later. But I do want to show you really quick before we go what Jill just finished because it's beautiful. This is Luminous Summer. Isn't this cute? So easy. It's a top-down yoke summertime sweater. It goes from like a 30 to a 70-inch bust. This one right here is the 37. Oh, sorry, this is the small. 37. Took 2 skeins of Malabrigo Verano. Here we go. I thought I brought one over here. Malabrigo Verano is the only cotton in the Malabrigo line. It's a Pima cotton, 200 yards, 205 yards per 100 grams. It's a worsted weight. Comes in beautiful colors. This is semi-solid, kind of like this skein right here. This one is plum. And I think we used something that's mist. Something mist. Of course, I didn't look before I start. This is chronic Sarah, right? But anyways, this size right here only took 2 skeins. I think all the way up to the size 70 sweater is still only 5 skeins. And it's just like, it's quick, it's lovely. It's on a size 7. It's not like it's knit at some really absurdly huge gauge. It's just really that straightforward. So if you're looking, again, if you live somewhere really warm and you need, we've got it right here, me and this gal. Once again, this is called Luminous Summer, right? Yeah. Pattern's $8. And it says it calls for DK, but the gauge is 5 stitches. The gauge is 4 1/4 stitches to the inch. So it was perfect for this Malabrigo Verano, which is kind of like a 4 1/2 to 5 stitch to the inch. We call it worsted, but you know, it kind of sits in that straddling area there. Jill's on the video. Yay, Jill. It's so beautiful. So Glacier, mist, not even close. Thank you, Jill. This is the color Glacier. There's lots of beautiful colors that we have of Verano on our website, so check it out because we also actually were able to score 3 one-of-a-kind colors, but like in large batches, like in sweater quantity batches. So you could definitely do it in one of those 3 one-of-a-kinds that are super, super beautiful. I would describe them as semi-variegated. So they're not super loud, like they would still work in a sweater project. So they're not the semi-solids like the plum I showed you, but they're kind of not full-on variegated either. Yeah, so many beautiful colors. So I think that wraps it up. Gosh, 13 minutes. It's really kind of a short chat, but it feels like I've been talking for a really long time. Yarn tasting, people, it has finally shipped. Yay! You should have got a shipping notice. I think this morning. I actually shipped them yesterday. So thank you for your patience. In addition to waiting on those 2 Lang yarns, I'll show you guys those next week in the chat because we did get 2 new yarns for spring and summer that I'm super excited about. But they arrived a lot later than we anticipated. So once we got them, we still had to split them out into the mini skeins, and then me getting sick kind of put a crimp in everything. So thanks for your patience, but they have finally shipped, and all your new course videos are in the online classroom for the yarn tasting. So, woohoo! Saturday, oh my gosh! Shell, thank you. That's what's supposed to be the big announcement. I'm telling you, my brain is not up to snuff. So, yes, thank you, Shell, for reminding me. Saturday, did you see the email this morning? Our newsletter this morning? The Gumball Sale is back. Actually, geez, I meant to have our Gumball machine right here with me as like a special guest on this chat. The Gumball Sale's back. So if you do not know what the Gumball Sale is, and many of you may not because you might have become fans, followers during COVID, and we haven't had a Gumball Sale during COVID, but this is an annual tradition at Not Another Hat. It's typically held the first Saturday in January, but we haven't been able to do it since January of 2020. And it is always such a good time, but you do not have to be here in person to participate, right? This is the clincher. So here's how it works. Gumball Sale Day. You come into the store or online and you grab up all the things you want and you say, I'm so excited because it's Gumball Day. And you come up to the counter and you're committed, right? You can't add and you can't subtract at that point. Once we start ringing you up, that's it. Obviously, if you're checking out online, that's it too. But then what happens? We hand you a penny, a lucky penny. You stick it in our 1973, circa 1973 San Francisco gumball machine. My parents bought this on their honeymoon in San Francisco and brought it home. Yes, it is avocado green. And you turn the crank. I mean, this thing is legit. It's metal, it's heavy as lead. And you turn the crank and you get a gumball, and each gumball represents a different discount. And the discounts go all the way from 15% off to 100%. Dead serious. 100%. So there are, granted, only a couple, and they don't actually always get pulled. There's a certain ratio of all the gumballs. I got a spreadsheet, of course, you know I do. And so, but people have got it before. People have got the 100% on big stuff. Heck, getting the 50% is a big deal, right? So you'll get a discount, guaranteed discount from 15 to 100%. And club members, you're gonna get an extra 5 on whatever gumball you get. So this is how it works if you're not here in the store. You have to make your order between 6 and 3 on Saturday. That's Pacific time, 6 a.m. Pacific to 3 p.m. Pacific. You make your order. Your credit card will be authorized but not charged yet. And then what'll happen is we will have a gumball proxy come and spin for you and pull a gumball for you. And then we will apply the discount to your order and then charge your card so that you don't have to have like pay for it and then get a refund. We'll just do the authorization and then we'll deduct the discount and then put the charge through. So it's all gonna be so much fun, and I'm sure it's actually gonna be mayhem because it hasn't happened in 2 years. So this would have been our 17th annual year. We're just still running with 17 because whatever, why not? Gumball is the best day. Everybody that works at Not Another Hat has always known that Gumball is like the best day. The enthusiasm of everybody and the excitement, and there's usually like this long line at the counter where everyone's like waiting and they're all watching everyone, you know, like spin for their gumball. And then there's usually this collective like, if someone gets a really good gumball right in front of you because you're like, damn it, that should have been my gumball. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm sure we're gonna be exhausted at the end, but yeah, I hope you can join us. That's Saturday. And the only thing that doesn't count in the Gumball Sale, because we can't give discounts on consignment items, are the consignment stuff. So Cardi Bells don't count, Lavender Sheep does not count, Sinfully Soft Angora does not count. So you can't get discounts on any of those 3 brands. I think that's the only consignment stuff we have right now. Pretty sure. Yeah. So no discounts on the Cardi Bell bags, no discounts on Lavender Sheep, and no discounts on, I just forgot the other one. Sinfully Soft Angora. Woo! So also a week after Saturday, on Saturday the 9th, Sinfully Soft Angora will be here with the bunny and the trunk show. So that's another great reason to come back the following Saturday and hang out with us. So, shawl pin? Oh, books, yes. Well, books aren't on the website, so I guess I was kind of ignoring books. But yeah, books don't count either because the books don't actually belong to us. Just as a refresher, Waukoma Bookstore, which is the most amazing small bookstore ever, independent bookstore, is our local bookstore, and they are my dear friends. And so they actually stock all our books for us. We just sell them for them, so that we can offer our customers a nice supply of the latest, newest knitting books. But they actually belong to Waukoma. So yeah, if you're in the store, books also do not count in the sale. So, whew, that was a lot of talking. Okay, 19 minutes. That's a pretty sufficient. Let's chat. All right, obviously I haven't spoken to you guys in 2 weeks because I just like all over. But I'm looking forward to seeing you all on Saturday, whether virtually or in the store. And yeah, make an Ovaltine or make some Ovaltine or do both. All right, everybody, I'll see you next Tuesday. Ciao.